Hello dear friends, myself Professor Khodde Rishikesh and you are watching BSc Botany Studies Classes channel. Today we will be discussing about the Watson and Crick model of DNA, which is most important model I would say. There are various form of DNA also, but today we are going to discuss only about the model of DNA. This model of DNA is given by various scientists, not only Watson and Crick. Various Wilkins, Franklin scientists were also involved. Chargaff rule also we have studied. These scientists contributed for understanding the model of DNA. Watson and Crick in 1953, understanding of all scientist knowledge, have given the model of DNA, which is the topic of today's discussion. After that we will be discussing about types or forms of DNA, but first we will be discussing about the model of DNA. So what is this model? Yesterday we have discussed about the DNA is located in nucleus as well as chloroplast and mitochondria. This DNA is present in chromosome. If you take that DNA out, you will find this DNA is somewhat in this organization. This DNA is in spiral organization. Likewise, our telephone wire to the receiver. This spiral organization, if you unwind, you will see this DNA is somewhat look like a ladder-like structure. You know very well what is ladder. The ladder-like structure shows presence of nucleotides. If this side you have A nucleotide, opposite to it you will definitely have T type of nucleotide. If this side you have C nucleotide, opposite to that you will definitely have G type of nucleotide. So we have discussed that one purine always pair with one pyrimidine. Likewise, this ladder-like structure shows there are presence of two strands. In DNA, you will have two strands. This is the first point of our discussion. Two strands are there. Each strand contains nucleotide. These nucleotides are interacting with each other. Two strands are here, no doubt in that, but these two strands are held together. These two strands are held together by a specific type of bond, which is very much important to understand here. Because if there is no bonding between these two strands, this strand will be separated. Okay, so in order to maintain these two strands close to each other, in always manner, there is a particular type of bonding. That bonding is known as hydrogen bonding. Means you can say hydrogen bonds are present between two strands of the DNA. Hydrogen bonding again shows some variation I have drawn here. Between A and T, you will have two hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bond between G and C, you will have three hydrogen bonds. This is somewhat you have to remember. Hydrogen bonding is there, no doubt, but again between A and T there are two hydrogen bonds. Between G and C there are three hydrogen bonds, as I have mentioned here. In one strand, you may have different types of nucleotides. Two nucleotides from opposite strand. Two nucleotides from different strands are connected by hydrogen bonds. But two nucleotides from, I will change the color. Two nucleotides from same strand. Try to understand. C and G from one strand are connected to each other by another type of bond known as phosphodiester bond. Okay, phosphodiester bond is present between two nucleotides of one strand, and hydrogen bond is present between two nucleotides of different strands. Try to understand this. Hydrogen bond is always between two nucleotides of different strand, and phosphodiester bond is present between two nucleotides of one strand. This is what I am trying to tell you here. So okay, we have ladder-like structure in which we have nucleotides, thousands, millions or billions nucleotides can be present in a strand of DNA. They are facing to the opposite nucleotide on another strand. This type of hydrogen bonding is known as base pair. Base pairing. So you will have one base pair, second base pair, third base pair, fourth base pair, as you can see here. So you have this double stranded structure which is always in spiral format, as it is always indicated that this spiral structure or spiral shape is for to compact the DNA in small area, because in nucleus you have very small area. For that the DNA is in circular fashion arranged here. So you can say that here there is no such structure present. It is just for understanding. An imaginary axis around which the DNA is circulating. Imaginary axis means there is no such axis. Try to understand. Here I have drawn this axis for understanding purpose only. Okay, so DNA is circulating around this axis, you can say here. But there are several concepts which are hidden here. Which concepts? When DNA is circulating around this imaginary axis, this DNA creates two types of grooves. This one is minor groove, and this one is major groove. As image I have presented on the screen is indicating that in DNA, when it is in spiral state, there are two grooves are present. Which grooves? Minor grooves and major groove. Opposite to major groove, you will have minor groove. Opposite to minor groove, you will have major groove. So don't get confused, you have to remember this only. So why I am highlighting this is very important to discuss. I will wipe out this. Okay, so we have this area here. From one minor groove to another minor groove. From one minor groove to the another minor groove, you will have one rotation of DNA. Try to understand this, it is very important. From one minor groove to another minor groove, you will have one complete rotation of DNA. The distance of this rotation is 34 Armstrong. You have to remember this. 34 Armstrong is nothing but 3.4 nanometer. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 Armstrong. That's why 34 Armstrong means 3.4 nanometer. It is a basic length unit in biochemistry. So you have to remember this. 34 Armstrong is the distance from one minor groove to the another minor groove. In one rotation we are talking here. And surprisingly, you will have you will have 10 base pairs in this one rotation. Means what? 34 Armstrong consists 10 base pair in one rotation. 10 base pairs are there. Base pair means if this side A, then opposite side it should contain T. Between A and T you will have 2 hydrogen bonds. Between G and C you will have 3 hydrogen bonds. If this strand consists T, then opposite side it should be containing A and 2 hydrogen bonds are there. So here I have shown 3 base pairs. Likewise, 10 total base pairs are present in one circle or one rotation of DNA, as I am saying here. There may be 1 million of base pair may be present in DNA, but in one rotation there should be 10 base pairs are present. Means what? Distance between two base pairs means what? This is one base pair and this is another base pair. Distance between these two base pair is 3.4 angstrom. Remember this, distance between two base pair is 3.4 angstrom. I don't think this is very much difficult to remember. Whatever I am telling you is a very important concept here. So we have drawn the structure. This is an imaginary axis. Imaginary axis means there is no such axis present there. We have drawn this axis for our understanding. If you look at the thickness of DNA or width of DNA, it is around 20 angstrom. 20 angstrom means what? 2 nanometer always. So DNA shows this type of structure, thickness or width is 2 nanometer, and one rotation shows 3.4 nanometer distance. In one rotation you will have 10 base pair, that's why distance between two base pair is 3.4 angstrom. So what is difference between angstrom and nanometer? You have to understand first. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 angstrom. Understand this first. 1 micrometer is equal to 1000 nanometer. 1 millimeter is equal to 1000 micrometer. 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeter. So understand this first. Whatever I am telling you here is very important. Why? You have 1 meter distance, that is 3 feet. My height is 2 meter, means 6 feet. 1 meter can be divided into 1000 millimeter. In that 1 millimeter you can have 1000 micrometer. If you take 1 micrometer aside, in that you will have 1000 nanometer. You cannot make 1000 part of nanometer. It is picometer in physics part. But in biology you have the smallest unit, that is angstrom. 1 nanometer can be divided into 10 angstrom. That's why I am talking here 34 angstrom is the distance, which is nothing but 3.4 nanometer. You have to remember these terminologies. There is no other option. If you have any query, please comment in comment section. I will try to make another video on the length concept. So here is a Watson and Crick model of DNA, in which in previous lecture we have said that one purine always pair with another pyrimidine. Just starting of lecture we have said that adenosine and thymine shows 2 hydrogen bond, and guanosine and cytosine shows presence of 3 hydrogen bond. All these two strands are connected by hydrogen bond. So this is the basic information we will require for the understanding of DNA structure. Okay, we will be moving forward here. Here we have said 2 strands are there. I will wipe some unnecessary things from here. Okay, so if you open this DNA will be look like this. If this side it is A, opposite side it should be T. If this side contains G, opposite side should contain C. Okay, that is fine. I will just make it is not compulsory that after A there should be G. It can be anything. So here you can draw C, here you can draw G, here you can draw T. Sorry. So you have this open DNA, which is ladder form of DNA. Why I have drawn this structure? It is very important to understand here. We have said that this DNA is double stranded. This DNA contains double strand. One strand, another strand. That's why double strand. Okay, double strand. But one strand orientation is always 5 prime to 3 prime, and another strand orientation is always 5 prime to 3 prime. Means what? Two strands of DNA are anti-parallel to each other. Two strands of DNA are anti-parallel to each other. Why? Why it is anti-parallel to each other? As I have shown the image in which one nucleotide you can see which contains sugar. This sugar have 5 carbons. These 5 carbons are denoted as a prime. It is special name given to the carbon of sugar, that is prime. So 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime and 5 prime. Always 1 prime carbon contain nitrogen base and 5 prime carbon contain phosphate group, 3 prime carbon contain hydroxyl group, as I have mentioned on the image. In a double stranded DNA, 5 prime end always contain free phosphate group, 3 prime end always contain free hydroxyl group. Same scenario here, PO4 minus phosphate group at 5 prime end and 3 prime end contain, which is negative, you can indicate here, hydroxyl group. So it is partial negative charge, you don't have to highlight every time. Okay, remember here. So hydroxyl group and phosphate group are present at 5 prime end and 3 prime end. So that's why these strands are denoted as anti-parallel strand. And always in DNA replication, you will find DNA replication takes place in a 2 strand when 2 strand get separate. If I show here, if I need to draw, when you separate the strand, here are the original nucleotides. New strand is going to synthesize over old strand. In the replication chapter, we will discuss more about how it takes place. Just remember here, 2 strands are anti-parallel and it is very essential to denote the 3 prime and 5 prime designation here. So with this, I have tried to explain Watson and Crick structure or model in a detailed manner. Next lecture, we will be discussing about the form of DNA or type of DNA. There are 3 major types of DNA for study purpose. What are the difference between them? We will discuss in next lecture. At the end of the lecture, I have shown you the next lecture link and previous lecture link. So we will meet in next lecture. Thank you for your time and please subscribe the channel and like the video. Bye.